Courts, former Northern Cape ANC Chair John Block has brought an application for a special entry against the presiding judge in the Trifecta case. Block alleges that Judge Mmathebe Phatsoane is guilty of deliberate negligent conduct and that she was prejudiced in the case. Sentencing proceedings were expected to start in the Kimberley High Court this morning. Block and Trifecta Director Christo Scholtz were convicted on charges of corruption and money laundering related to government leases. Block laid a complaint at the Judicial Service Commission. He said Judge Phatsoane was biased and in favour of the state. It's not the first time that an application has been brought against this judge. During the case, all the accused brought an application for the judge's recusal. However, she ruled that there was no relevant evidence to recuse herself. She said the accused had put words in her mouth. The defence admitted that the special entry should be granted. Well, our reporter Ulrich Hendriks is at the Kimberley High Court. He's been tracking this story for us. He joins us once again from the High Court. Ulrich, very good afternoon to you. Just tell us a bit about this case.
Hi Natasha. Well, this case has been coming for about 4 years. It relates to John Block, then ANC chair, a very powerful man in the province, as well as along with him were Yolanda Botha. She's a former HOD of the Social Development Department, as well as ANC Treasurer and also an MEC, Alvin Botha. They were charged along with Christo Scholtz and various companies of colluding or using their muscle, their political muscle, to get lease tenders for the Trifecta group of companies, and then at inflated prices. These are long-term agreements, and they were then supposedly favoured or used their muscle to favour the Trifecta. These leases were made in Kimberley, Douglas, Uppington, and of course in Springbok. So quite a lot of money involved. We are talking about millions and millions of rands that are involved in this case. Alvin Botha, the MEC, he was found not guilty. Yolanda Botha, also one of the accused, she died before the conclusion of this case. And then the court found that that the state proved beyond a reasonable doubt that John Block did use his influence to secure these tenders for Trifecta. They were found guilty along with Christo Scholtz of corruption and money laundering. So the case, as it is now, is at the stage where they are supposed to be sentenced. The state has argued for jail terms for the accused, while the defence has said that they can pay a fine or some non-custodial sentences. And then, of course, this morning, John Block, to the surprise of the other defendants, as well as the state, brought an application for a special entry alleging that the judge is biased and that there were irregularities in the way she conducted this trial. She's supposed to, I just heard from a colleague that she's supposed to make that ruling closer to 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then she will decide as well whether or not to continue with the sentencing procedures, whether or not to then either send John Block and his co-accused to jail or to give them a non-custodial sentence. And then, of course, or she could decide to postpone it for a couple of months until this complaint with the JSC has been dealt with.
All right, Ulrich, thank you very much. There's still a lot to come out of this case. We wait to see whether or not those sentencing proceedings will continue this afternoon. Our reporter Ulrich Hendriks live from the Kimberley High Court.